To God be the glory. Respected Reverend Dr. Rustum, Khizer Jeffrey, DD, PhD, Advisor, International Mission Director, and every day I'm reading Pastor's writing. Today is a 42, portion 42. And Revelation 1 chapter 3, Blessed is he that readeth, and they that heareth the word of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. And Pastor's writing, in one sense, therefore the apocalyptic was the pessimist, for he did not believe that things are as they were could ever be cured. True, he was quite certain that the golden age would come, but only after this world had been destroyed. The prophet's message was spoken. The message of the apocalyptic was always written. Apocalyptic is a literary production. Had it been delivered by the word of mouth, men would never have understood. It is difficult, involved, often unintelligible. It had to be poured over before it can be understood. Further, the prophets always spoke under his own name. All apocalyptic writing except New Testament are the pseudonyms. They are put into the mouth of great ones of the past, like Noah, Enoch, Isaiah, Moses, 12 Petanoid, Ezra, and Baruch. This is something pathetic. A man who wrote the apocalyptic literature had the feelings that the greatest was gone, but the earth they would be self-destructing to put their names to their works, and attributed them to the great figure of past, thereby seeking to give them an authority greater than their own names could he have given. The apocalyptic approach of the apocalyptic literature had a pattern. It seeks to describe the things which will happen at the last times, at the blessedness which will follow, and the same picture occur over and over again. It always, so to speak, worked with the same materials. These materials find in their place in our book of Revelation. In apocalyptic literature, the Messiah was a divine, pre-existed, otherworldly figure of power and glory, waiting to descend into the world to begin its conquering career. He existed in heaven before the creation of the world, before the sun and the stars were made, and is preserved in the presence of the Almighty. Enoch 48:3-6, Ezra 13:25-26. He will come down to put down the mighty from their seats, to dethrone the kings of the earth, and to break their teeth of sinners. Enoch 42:26. In apocalyptic, there was nothing human or gentle about Messiah. It was a divine figure of avenging power and glory, before whom earth trembled in fear. The coming of the Messiah was to be preceded by the return of Elijah, who would prepare the way for him. Malachi 4:5-6. Elijah was to be stand up the hills of Israel, to the rabbis said, that announced the coming of the Messiah with a voice so great, and it would sound from one end on the earth to the other. The last terrible times were known as the trial of the Messiah. The coming of the Messianic age would be the agony of birth. In the Gospel, Jesus is depicted as foretelling the signs of the end, and it reported as saying, all these things are the beginning of the sorrow. Matthew 24:8, Mark 13:8. The word for sorrow is ordinai, and it literally means birth pangs. And the last days will be a time of terror. Even the mighty man will cry bitterly. Zephaniah 1:14. Habitations of the land shall tremble. Joel 2:1. Man will be gripped with fear and will seek some place to hide and will find none. Enoch 10:21, 1 and 3, 1 to 3. The last days will come, be a time when the world will be the shattered, a time of cosmic upheaval. When that universe as man known it will be the disintegrated, the stars will be extinguished, the sun will be turned into darkness and the moon into blood. Isaiah 13:10. The firmament will crush in ruins. There will be a contract of a raging fire, and creation will become a molten mass. The season will lose their order, and there will be neither night nor day. The last day will be the time when human relations will be destroyed. Hatred and enmity will reign upon earth. Everyone hand will be against his neighbor. Zechariah 14:13. Brother will kill each other. Parents will murder their own children from dawn to dusk. And honor will murder their own children from the dawn to dusk. They shall slay one another. Honor will be turned into shame, and the strength into humiliation, and a beauty into ashes, ugliness. The man of humility will become the man of envy. Passion will hold away over the man who once was peaceful. The last days will be the time of judgment. God will come like a refiner's fire, and who can endure the day of his coming? Malachi 31:3, 1 to 3. It will by fire, sword that will be plead with men. Isaiah 66:15, 16. The Son of Man will destroy sinners from the earth. Enoch 69:27, 6. And the smell of burning stone will be pervade all things. The sinners will be burned up as Sodom was long ago. In all these visions, the Gentile have their, but it is not always place, but time some vision that a Gentile will be totally destroyed. Babylon will become such a desolation that there will be no place for the wandering Arabs to plant is a tent among to ruins, the place for the shepherd to gaze. A sheep will be there nothing more than desert inhabited by beasts. God will be tread down the Gentiles in anger. The Gentiles will come over church chains to Israel. Sometimes there will be pictured one last gathering of the Gentile against Jerusalem, and one last battle in which they are destroyed. The kings of the nation will throw themselves against Jerusalem. They will seek to revenge the shrine of the Holy One. They will place their thrones in the ring around and a city with the infidel people with them, but it will be only for their final destruction. Sometimes there will be a picture of that conversation of the Gentiles through Israel. God has given Israel a light to the Gentile, that she may be God's salvation to the ends of the earth. The Eilish wait upon God. The ends of the earth invade to look to God and be saved. The Son of Man will be a light of the Gentiles. A nation shall come from the ends of the earth to Jerusalem to see the glory of God. Psalms of Solomon 17:34. And thank you very much. May God richly bless you all. Amen.